Hi, guys. Welcome back to Finding Your Indie. I'm Bonnie Paulson.
And I'm Mandy Stevens.
Welcome to our Monday marketing tips and tricks. Today, we're talking about bank over rank. We've been promising this video for a while. Mandy just reminded me, and I was like, oh yeah, crap. We've got to get that done. Hopefully you checked out our pen names. The pen name thing. Go check out part 1 if you haven't. Part 2's up as well. There you go. And we were talking about like pen names and all that kind of stuff. And we thought we would talk about this topic. I think it's a really good topic. It's a really important topic, especially right now.
It's extremely important.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about what it is. What is bank and what is rank? When we're saying bank over rank, obviously bank would be money, right? Like how much money are you making? And rank is, we're not talking about your ranking on like Barnes and Noble or Apple. We're literally talking about the Amazon ranking. And so many people are like, oh, but I'm in the top 100. Oh, I'm in the top 200. Oh, I'm at 500. I want to go lower. That's great. That's awesome. And it is an indicator of how well you're doing, but at the same time, it's not. So Mandy, why don't you touch on what you think about those? And then I'll hit it up too.
I was talking to somebody in a group the other day, and he was talking about how the ranking in general on Amazon is so crazy lately. He's like, I had this new release and it was lower or higher than it normally would be, but I was making more money.
Right. Isn't that weird?
Yeah. So
yeah.
We're
both like,
well, I mean, you just never know with Amazon because their reporting constantly changes. The way they gauge their ranking constantly changes. You can't rely on it.
No, it's ridiculous. So their weighting is completely different on the ranking thing. So as we know, I took books out of KU and immediately went from like 1,200 to 120,000, right? Like general. I brought it in the book was like at 300,000. There was another book, brought it in. It was at 300,000 when it was wide. And then suddenly I clicked KU and it was like 20,000. Like, really? That's that big of a difference? You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. But the book was making the same amount of sales, exactly the same amount. Mm-hmm. So I thought that was interesting. Then it changed from 99 cents. It was a first in series. So I had 99 cents and I put it to $4.99 and it dropped without any more sales. It dropped lower. So, and then I heard someone else was like, well, if you keep reviews on it, it keeps your rank lower. And another person was saying when we were at a conference recently, another person was like, well, page reads affects your rank. And I was like, no, page reads doesn't affect your rank as far as we know, because we don't know, right? Like, we don't know. It's stupid. It's so unfair. And then someone else was like, well, because I was saying that, I was like, it's just not fair how we don't understand how the algorithm is. And it was just interesting because it was like, well, we know this, we know this, we know this, we know this, but we don't know anything else, which means we don't know anything. Like, literally.
And we can assume things and then it's going to change anyway. So.
And then it's going to change anyway. It's so ridiculous. So
I'm really big on backlist.
Yes.
And I know you're big on backlist.
Mm-hmm,
and during boss mode, at the very end, there was somebody's like, wow, I forgot I had all of these books that I could be making money on.
Right.
Because she was planning out her marketing and she was like, holy crap. And we're like, yes.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, we have clients come on and they're like, I have this new release coming out. And I'm like, I don't care. Like, I don't care. I know that sounds bad, but that's not what is going to make you the most money. Your backlist should be making 80% of your income at least. Yeah. And if you're not putting advertising on it, you're not letting people know about it, then it's just sitting there like the kid. And I always make fun of it. Like, the backlist can either be a productive part of the family, or it's going to be the kid in the basement watching TV, not, mom, grab me a pop, like.
Well, and the point of advertising is bringing people into your brands and bringing people into your series. So you're going to want to advertise book 1, not book 8.
Right. Agreed. Yeah. Which it's smart. I mean, it is smart to put money and put marketing on your newest release. It is. It's smart. And we're not saying don't do that. What we're saying is don't forget, like Mandy said, if you have like a book 1 of the series, let's say you're book 5 or book 8, and you're like, hey, I want to push book 8 that's just coming out. The better return is going to be pushing book 1. That's going to be your better return, right? And then when you have that and you're like, hey, look, this is what we're doing with book 8, majority of the time, advertising goes to newer people, acquisitions, and it's going to shoot them to the beginning anyway. So we prefer to, so when we're like, hey, we're going to be conservative with your money, we're not going to be sitting here running and running and running after rank. Like, that's not what we do. I do have people who don't love that. I've actually turned clients away because I'm like, or, we just mutually weren't going to work together because I refuse to chase rank. I won't do it. I'm like, no, I'm not going to chase that. I will chase the sales. Sure, all day long. But if you come to me and you're like, I want to be in the top 100 and my book's only going to be 99 cents, I'm like, there's no return there.
No, there's no return there.
There's no return.
You're doing it for ego. So,
yeah. And that's fair too. That's totally fair. Like, I guess we should have started this with, it's your decision what your goal is. If you want to chase rank, go for it. That's awesome. Good for you. There is return there, I'm sure. However, we don't do that. We are always like, hey, do you want to be pushing bank? Like, do you want to have another job that pays for this? Or do you want this to pay for what you're doing? So I think that's like a huge point. Like, what is your goal? Do you want to be in the top 100? Do you want to be in the top 500? Or do you want to have a solid amount of money coming in, which I've heard people say, oh, but I make so much money when I'm sitting in the top 100. It's like, yeah, you do make a ton of money, but what is the net on that? And I don't know because we don't know what the ranking weights are. And that's what's so frustrating is it's like, if we just had like a spreadsheet, right? Do this, do this, do this, do this, like one of those color ones where they're like, hey, if you're in the top here, you're this color, this one's this color. Sweet. That'd be so cool. Then I could be like, yeah, we could spend this much money and you could be in the top 300 and we know for sure. But it's rough. It's really rough. It's crazy.
And you should have, you should have your base amount of fans who are eagerly waiting for that book 8.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So they should be following your social media. They should be signed up for your newsletter and whatnot. Right. So your marketing effort should be at the first, and then it just kind of, so they grab every single book that you write.
Yep. Your readers should be funneled in and should be grabbing your things. I mean, I think that's fair, right? And then your rank, and then it's not really a worry. It's bank and rank, not one over the other. Yeah. So I think it's interesting. I just think it's interesting. It's something that we're always talking about. Oh, are we going bank over rank?
Yeah, I'm surprised. I see people who have 100 books and they want to focus on the last 3 that they released. I'm like, are you kidding me? You have this huge, you should be making so much more money because you have all these books.
Right. I did hear someone one time who was like, if you want to hear information from people, go and look before you listen to what they say, go and look at their rank. And I'm like, that's not really accurate because number one, like for instance, if you look at Bonnie Paulson, my rank or my pen name, that one I've kind of like, it's like my tester, right? Like I've kind of abandoned that pen name. That's my name. But nobody, like I have like 3 maybe other pen names that other people know about. And then of my, that's 11 other pen names that nobody knows about. So really it's not fair to say, go look and see how they're doing because they don't have any idea how I'm doing. Plus, since I stepped back from really pushing and burning out, because I was burnt out. I mean, we talked about that. It's like, I needed to take a break from my own stuff because I needed to figure out what I was doing. Am I chasing money? Am I writing because I'm trying to write to market? I'm trying to make money like everybody else, $50,000 a month, 100,000, whatever, blah. Or am I writing because I really like it and I'm happy with what it's making and I'm happy with what it's doing? Like that's something that I've had to come to terms with. And it was when I was chasing the rank and I was chasing bank that it was so hard for me because I was like, maybe I'm not doing something right. Well, that's that name. So if somebody wanted to go and check out my rank, it's going to suck. Plus I just went wide and direct and all my focus is on direct. So I don't care what my rank is on Amazon. So if somebody was like, yeah, look at Bundy doesn't know what she's talking about. Her rank is like super bad, which it is. And I'm fine with that. I have no problem with that. That's when I'm like, yeah, then you don't need me. Like if you are worried about what my rank is and not worried about what your stuff is doing, like we have a disconnect. I don't know if that makes sense what I was saying.
It does make sense. And they also don't know what you're selling on your website.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly.
And you have secret pen names, and I have a secret pen name, and I'm not telling you. Nobody
needs to know, and nobody knows who our clients are. We have some pretty big name clients, and I'm not telling that. We don't tell who our clients are. If they want to say, that's fine, but we don't sit here and go, oh, my client is this, or I have this person for a client, because that's nobody's business. It's nobody's business. So I
Mhm.
feel like when we're checking out rank and we're like, hey, this person knows something or doesn't know something, but we're following rank, we don't even know what Amazon is doing. So they may be taken on by Amazon. They may be, we don't know. There's so many things that affect rank, but to discount someone because of their rank is, again, something that's really frustrating. But on the flip side, like giving someone the world and being like, oh, I worship them or whatever, they're amazing, based completely on what they bank with. Again, we don't know what they're doing. So it's like, it's such a dichotomy. And it's like something that we've talked about quite a few times in other videos, like, oh yeah, I choose this, or we do this, or we focus on this. But just having an idea of where your focus is. Are you focusing on rank? Great. Are you focusing on bank? Great. That's good for you. Just understand what it is that your focus is. And if you have questions, we'll be like, yeah, I would totally be doing this, or, oh, I would totally be doing that. But so if you have a nice solid backlist, then you should be making money. Like Mandy's saying, you should be able to make something with, adequate advertising efforts. So anyways, that's what I think about it. Did you want to add anything to this? This is just a fast.
Yeah, it's just fast. I just want to talk about how important it is to look at your backlist and actually push it.
Right. Agreed. Make sure you understand your marketing efforts and what your readers want. So we're always saying stick to your brand and be consistent and all the things, but
And have fun.
and have fun. Yes. But this was just a fast little Monday marketing tip. We've been talking about bank over rank for a while. So this is where we're coming from with this. So we've got some really great videos coming up. We've got some spotlights and we're talking about some ads. Too. We wanted to talk about some VA things, some marketing tips that we have. So we've got things coming in the word work. So we can't wait to talk more. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe and hit the bell for the notifications and share with a friend, because success is always better when there's more of us. All right, guys, we'll see you next time.